Hello yogis and welcome. Today's practice will focus on releasing tension of the low back and the upper back. So grabbing a block or a block-like structure and place that somewhere off the side of your mat that you'll easily be able to grab. Right, and then getting a pillow, a bolster, or couch cushion. Having that off the mat as we begin. Grabbing a blanket. Now this is going to be to support the head and the neck. We don't want it too thin nor too thick, so fold it to your comfort level. And let's come down onto our spine. As you come onto your back, adjusting the blanket so it's comfortable underneath the head, supporting the neck and the base of the skull, and grab your pillow, place it underneath the thighs. Bringing the soles of the feet together, rest the ankles and the calves on the bolster, so knees are out wide. Tipping the pelvis so the low back is comfortably resting into the mat. Again, check in with the blanket. And if having your knees bent like this isn't comfortable for the low back, feel free to extend them out long over the bolster. I'm going to bring my feet back together, knees out wide. Beginning to connect with our breath. Breathing in and out of the nose slowly. Feel the chest rise and fall. Begin to let the mind clear. Feel the weight of your body pressing into the back line of the body and pressing into the mat. As you breathe, begin to envision the breath moving in through the nose. See it travel all the way down the spine to the tailbone. And as you exhale, envision this breath traveling back up the spine and out of the nose. Staying here for a few rounds of breath, just inviting in a sense of softness, a sense of being here. Good. Now, yogis, start to take your hands to the outer edges of your thighs. If the legs were out long, you're going to just drag the knees into the chest. Hands to outer edges of the thighs and push the knees together. Begin to hug now the knees in towards the chest. Holding on to the shins right below the knees. Squeeze the knees in and then start to circle the knees open and away from each other. So starting to get into the hips, into the pelvis. Do one more circle around here. Good. And then letting the feet come down onto the mat. You'll get the bolster out of the way. Coming back to that bent knee position we started with. Let the hands rest comfortably at your sides and let your pelvis be in a neutral state. So we'll begin with an exercise called arch and flatten. As you arc, you're going to lift the lumbar spine away from the mat. The tops of the hips stay down. You should be able to slide your hand in that space between your spine and the mat. Good. So that's the arc. As you exhale, tilt the tailbone up towards the ceiling, pushing the low back flat into the mat. At this point, you should not be able to get your hand between the spine and the mat. And let's do this for a few rounds. Inhale, start to lift the lumbar spine, lengthening the tailbone towards the front of the mat. And exhale, press the spine flat. Inhale, finding that arc, feeling the belly open. Exhale, press flat. Good. Inhale, opening, finding the arc. Exhale, pressing flat. Inhale, return to that arc. Exhale, press flat. Good. Do a few more rounds on your own. Inhale, arcing. And exhale, flattening. Now as you're doing this, this is a soft, slow movement. We move slowly with the breath and we're moving mindfully. We're watching and sensing how the pelvis moves. Also noticing how when we press the spine flat into the mat, you can feel those muscles on the back line of the body begin to spread and stretch out. With the inhale, as you come to the arc, you can feel the front line of your body softly opening. Good. Doing just a few more rounds here. Recognizing that this is similar to cow and cat on your back. Remember the inhale, you're arcing. And the exhale, you're pressing flat. Now we're going to add on to this. So come to that flat spine. Feel as though your pelvis is a clock. 12 o'clock is the belly button. 6 o'clock is the tailbone. The left bony landmark of the hip would be 3 o'clock and the right would be 9 o'clock. As you inhale, tip the pelvis forward, find 6 o'clock. Gently roll towards the back of the left hip, finding 3 o'clock, and then flatten the spine, finding 12 o'clock. Gently roll to the back of the right hip, find 9 o'clock, and then back to 6 o'clock. And we'll do that 2 more rounds. Slowly press as you roll to 3 o'clock, then scoop the tail up as you press the spine flat to noon or 12 o'clock, pressing as you roll to 9, and then arcing as you return to 6. Final round. Moving to 3 o'clock, finding our 12 o'clock flat back, roll gently over to 9, and find our arc at 6 o'clock. Then exhale, just flatten the spine. Good. And inhale, arc. Good. Exhale, flatten. Inhale and arc. And we'll start to reverse this direction. Coming to a flat spine. Inhale, arc. That's our 6 o'clock. Slowly roll it over to 9 o'clock, the right hip. Then flatten to 12. Move it over to 3 o'clock. Return to 6 o'clock. Press, moving over to 9. Bring it to 12 o'clock, flat back. Gentle little arc as you move to 3. And find 6 o'clock. Move to 9 o'clock. Take it to 12. Move it over to 3 o'clock. Find 6 o'clock. As you exhale, let's just flatten the spine. And then inhale, find 6 o'clock. Exhale, flattening. Inhale, find your arc. Exhale, flatten. Inhale, find your arc. We're going to add on here in just a moment. So finding a nice neutral pelvis. Good. So that's the point between the arc and the flatten. Let yourself stabilize here. Now press the spine flat into the mat. Inhale, find that arc. Hold the arc. Take your hands now up behind the base of your skull. So letting the fingertips just gently rest at the base of the skull. Elbows will be open out wide here. Good. Just waiting a moment for my video to catch up. Elbows out nice and wide. Good. The belly is lifted. This is our inhale. Now as you exhale, press the spine flat. Start to lift the elbows, lift the backs of the shoulders, point your elbows towards your knees. And then inhale, find the arc, open across elbows. Exhale, press spine flat, lift the back of the shoulders, elbows forward, flatten. Inhale and arc. Exhale, press the spine flat as you round in. It's not quite a sit-up. And then inhale and open. Exhale, rounding in. Inhale and open. Good. Move slow with breath. Feel the muscles of the back body spread as you press flat. Inhale, feel the front line of the body open. Exhale, press as you round in. Inhale and open. Exhale, press as you round in. Good. Now let's reach the arms forward. Back is pressed flat into the mat. Relax the shoulders, soften through the face. Focus on pressing the low back into the mat. Hug, scoop the belly in. One more breath. Exhale, lower head, neck, shoulders down. Extend your arms forward. Reach your arms up overhead, taking in a huge stretch here. Good. Roll out the feet. And then let's bend back into the knees, placing the soles of the feet on the mat. Make sure your block is nearby. We're going to hug the right knee in towards the chest. Now take your block and place it behind the right thigh. Pressing the thigh into the block, reach up through your right heel. Now you can keep your left knee bent, or you can extend that left leg long. Keep pressing the right thigh into the block. And if a block isn't available, you interlace your fingers, creating like a little basket with your hands, and press the thigh in towards your hands. So there should be a little bit of resistance here. And you're kicking through the right heel up towards the ceiling. You're either kicking through left heel forward, or it's pressed into the mat. And then a little bit of movement. As you exhale, bend your right knee. And then inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend the right knee. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, go ahead, bend into that knee. Inhale and lengthen. Bend into the knee. Inhale and lengthen. Good. Go ahead, remove your block. Bend into your right knee. Left hand to the outside of that right knee. Right arm wide, and take your twist off to the left. As you come onto your left side, make sure your hips are squared, meaning that right hip is not hiked up towards our right shoulder. Think of rooting the hip down towards the front edge of your mat. Another round of deep inhale and exhale here. And slowly roll back onto the spine. Good. Let's lengthen the leg forward, reach the arms up overhead, take a huge stretch in. Good. Exhale, bend the knees, soles of the feet on the mat. Grabbing your block now, take it behind the left thigh. Press through that left heel as you extend the leg up high. Push the thigh into the block. Pull the block back into the thigh. Whatever you did with that right or the left leg on the other side, do into the right leg. So extending that right heel forward. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bend into that left knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend in. So there should be a lot of resistance, a lot of force that you're working with here. Good. Continue to bend and straighten. And we're not doing this fast. We're doing it slow and mindful. Good. Another inhale here. Exhale, go ahead, bend back into that knee. Inhale, straighten. Remove the block, bend into that left knee and roll off to the right, taking a twist. Even here, making sure that the hips are nice and squared so the left hip isn't hiked up towards left shoulder. Lengthen it towards the right heel. Relax the neck. Release the left arm out to the left. Finding your breath here. Breathing nice and deep into the belly, releasing the back body. And as you inhale, come back onto your spine, lengthen out, huge stretch. And as you exhale, pull the knees into the chest, rounding into the low back. Good. Go ahead and roll off to one side and take your time pressing your way up to a comfortable seated position. You can remove now your blanket out of the way. Moving the flesh out from underneath you, making sure your sit bones are rooted into the mat. Lift the spine nice and tall. Relax through the shoulders. Relax through the neck. As you inhale, sweep arms up overhead. Interlace the fingers gently and place it at the base of the skull. Elbows out wide. Deep breath here. Lift your chest. Lift your throat. As you exhale, chin to chest, round the spine and point the elbows down towards your shins. Good. Inhale and open. Exhale, coiling in. Inhale, open. Exhale, coil it in. Round between the upper back. Good. Inhale and open. Exhale, rounding in. Release between the shoulder blades. Inhale, open. Extend the arms up high. Begin to rotate your chest towards the right. Left hand to the outside of the right knee. Right hand behind you. Now inhale, lift, lengthen your spine. Think cow pose. Good. And as you exhale, you're going to round your spine. Think cat back and take your chin. Look over left shoulder. As you inhale, lengthen spine, lift your chest. Exhale, round in like cat back and chin points to left shoulder. Good. Inhale, lift and lengthen, reaching the right shoulder back. Exhale, round in. Inhale, lift, lengthen, pause here. Good. Reach that right arm up, sweep it over and grab anywhere you can onto that left knee or thigh. Chin to chest, round in, round the spine. Holding here, breathing into the low back and the space between the shoulder blades. Good. Deep breaths. Inhale, release the arms, reach up high. Swivel your chest to the left, right hand to the outside of left thigh, left hand behind you. Lift your chest and lengthen. Good. Then exhale, think of a cat back as you round in and tip your chin to look towards right shoulder. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, rounding in, chin looks towards the right. Inhale, think of stacking every bone of the spine as you open. Exhale, round in, tip the chin to the right. Good. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, rounding in. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Start to extend that left arm up overhead, sweep it across the body, grab onto the right knee, round in. Focus on the space between the backs of the shoulders. Breathe in deep there. Draw the navel center in. As you inhale, release arms, sweep your arms up high. Exhale, let your hands come down alongside hips. Good. So let's come onto all fours into tabletop position. For those of you with sensitive knees, feel free to grab your blanket again and pad up your knees. Let's tuck our toes under, knees right below hips, shoulders over wrists. Moving into cow and cat. So find neutral spine first. Gaze is straight down. Start to lift the tail, drop the belly, chest forward, gaze forward. Now keep your chin level to the floor. Scoop the tail under, draw the belly in, then the chest. Last thing to tuck in is the chin. Keep chin tucked in, lengthen the tail high, drop the belly, chest forward. Now gaze goes forward, keep gaze forward. Exhale, scoop the tail under, pull the belly in, round into the upper back, and chin to chest. Keep chin to chest, lift the tail, drop the belly, chest forward, gaze forward. Exhale, tuck the tail under, scoop, round in, and find your cat back. Inhale, cow pose. Last thing to come forward is the chin and the gaze. Exhale, slowly transition into your cat spine. Good. Inhale into our cow pose. Exhale into your cat back. Inhale, go ahead, take one more round, and then we'll come into a neutral spine. Step your left hand forward like one handprint, and then slide your right arm underneath your left. Come on down to your left forearm. So coming into a posture called thread the needle. It's a gentle twist for the spine. The left hand can walk forward towards the front edge of the mat, or you can stay down on the left forearm. Navel center draws in. You're lengthening the tailbone back and squaring the hips. Breathe in deeply to the back body. Once more envisioning the breath going all the way down the spine. Just a few more rounds of breath here. And take that left hand in front of the face. Right hand comes down. Good. Step that right hand forward like one handprint and slide. Snake that left arm underneath you as you come onto left shoulder and left side of the face. Right hand walks forward, or you're on that right forearm. Again, just envisioning the spine, lengthening the tailbone back. Draw the navel center in. Another round of breath or two here. Take that right hand back in front of the face. Push your way up. Find your tabletop. Let's find cat and cow. Close the eyes. Inhale. Come into your cow pose. Exhale. Round into a cat spine. Tuck your toes under, keep a rounded cat back, and lift up and back to downward facing dog. So just finding one big, huge stretch through the back. Relax the neck, let it hang down between the shoulder blades. Just finding your breath here, root down through the backs of the heels. Good. You can bend the knees if this is intense on the low back. You can pedal out your feet. You can rock your hips. Yogis, find what feels comfortable for you. All right. Another breath. And then closing out our practice. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, lower down onto the knees. Untuck the toes. Good. Come into your seated cross-leg position. And just finding a tall spine. Sense and feel what the back line of the body feels like. Let the chin rest towards the chest. I want to thank you for joining me this morning on the mat, taking time out of your busy day to reward your body with some gentle exercise. Hands to heart center, chin to hands. With my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you so much, yogis. Until we meet again.